It's a rivalry that began in 1961, and we've got the latest chapter. Get ready for the Packers and the Vikings, next on EA Sports.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done. And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
4th down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 61 yards. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
They run. Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 47 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Rosas' kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. The numbers for him from a week ago: 13 carries, 83 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw there complete to Ruggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
And it's a Packers touchdown. A.J. Dillon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the result, a Green Bay score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Handoff comes to Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Here's Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Working with a 2nd and 3. A give for Dillon running right. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here we go.
Here's Rodgers. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 there, a full 10 yards, so that one hurts. And it brings up 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line.
Cousins throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
A first down throw for Cousins. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And we got an injury here. And I believe, yes, that's the wideout, Adam Thielen. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Open man, here is Cobb.
And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29.
Now Rodgers.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Rodgers.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Here's 2nd and 10.
And again, it's Rodgers.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off, didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Packers would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is now 17-3. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From the 31, Cousins.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the half, Cousins.
And that is incomplete. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 61 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run again with Dillon. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Pass caught by Ruggs, middle of the field. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2nd and 2. On play action, now Rodgers. That's complete, and once again, it's Cobb. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
They'll run here with Dillon. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and will leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
This could very well be 4-down territory, but right now we focus on 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll try and pound it in with Dillon, and he'll get nothing out of that one. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th 4th and goal from the 1. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. No, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
2nd down and 8. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Nifty move. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out right at the 35. 86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, it's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but it's going to be 2nd down. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
It got his man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Packers now to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Harrison Smith on the tackle. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 34-yard line.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a play fake. Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Nick Vigil. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we've got a tie game here in the 4th. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as it kicks away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. They will look to flush the memory of that pick 6 as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the 4th quarter. Getting down to the good stuff. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Dillon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. On 2nd down, it's Jones. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
To throw is Rodgers. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. But remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had 1 pick. It could have been his 2nd, but instead it's 4th down. And Bohorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here?
And this is going to be intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. A we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
And down inside the 15 he goes. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's the big man Dillon with it. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. On 3rd down, here's Dillon. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Packers, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.